Hello YouTubers out there, this is Jerry at the Movies. So today I'm just going to mention very briefly something that is in the news that in the Star Wars world that I don't believe to be true, but here are my thoughts on it. A few sites have reported that Luke Skywalker may in fact turn to the dark side and join the Sith or be a Sith leader in Star Wars Episode VII. Now, the problem with this is the following. Luke Skywalker was actually the last Jedi. There was the other, which I believe was Princess Leia. That may in fact be closer to the truth, that Princess Leia in fact becomes some sort of a Jedi. That's likely, not completely impossible to believe. But the fact that Luke Skywalker turns to the dark side 30 years after Return of the Jedi is highly unlikely. He might be a hermit. I don't think he will be, but I don't know what direction they're taking the story. I have no idea. J.J. Abrams, of course, is not saying anything. Nobody really knows for sure. Now, there was a picture that surfaced about a month or two ago about a Sith Inquisitor, some sort of a hooded robot, or mostly robot, was a little bit of a human face, but mostly obscured by what looks like a robotic face for the most part. That this character was holding Darth Vader's helmet. That very likely might be, in fact, a flashback. Maybe the movie will start off with things that happened during the time of the Return of the Jedi and then flash forward to the future. It would be unusual because the Star Wars universe doesn't seem to, at least these movies don't seem to work in that way. There are no flashbacks in these movies. I mean, they just happen exactly as they transpire, the events. So it doesn't go, the momentum is forward. They never go back to reveal something in a flashback. So that's unlikely. So perhaps that picture is BS. But one of the things somebody said was that the Sith Inquisitor, if that is in fact what that character is Luke. And I thought, well, not likely. Again, the whole point of turning into the dark side is because someone influences you to turn to the dark side. So the fear was in the original trilogy, and what Yoda warned Luke about, which is that don't get too close to your father, Darth Vader, because you might join when you discover he's your father. Obi-Wan Kenobi held on to the lie, which was that Anakin Skywalker was killed by Darth Vader, blah blah blah. All this so that Luke wouldn't join the dark side. So there's an influence, and especially in episodes 1, 2, and 3, where Anakin Skywalker gets a little too close to the Emperor, whom he knows as Palpatine, but in fact he's a Sith and dangerous. And there were lots of Jedis in those days. So if you remember what Obi-Wan Kenobi said in Star Wars Episode IV, New Hope, that the Jedi are all but extinct, and Vader was seduced by the dark side of the Force. So Obi-Wan is the last Jedi, and then there's technically Luke, who could be trained as a Jedi, and was, and then there is the other that Yoda talked about in Empire Strikes Back, and the other could be Princess Leia. So that's it. So really the last remaining Jedi is Luke, unless he's trained some other Jedis and one of them has turned to the dark side. I don't know what the progression of the story will be, but I don't think Luke will have turned to the dark side. Now, what I've also read is the fact that Harrison Ford's role as Han Solo has been expanded. In fact, it's a bigger role overall in this film than he's had in the others. So, you know, who do you believe? I don't know. But considering that Mark Hamill grew this beard, and he looks like Alec Guinness, but much fuller beard than even Ewan McGregor's Obi-Wan Kenobi, I have a feeling it won't be obscured by some sort of a metal robotic, mask. So anyway, that was the latest rumor, but I'm just not sure I really believe it. And that's all I gotta say for now. This is Jerry at the Movies, signing off.